Hello, everybody, and welcome tonight here to Kentucky Speedway in the original Rebels Racing League for the Big Fish Motorsports 200 here in the Send It Cup Series. My name is Zach Wetstein. I'm here tonight with Sam Wetstein. How are you doing tonight?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Looking forward to a nice race here in Kentucky.
Absolutely. I did some practice laps on this track with the Cup car earlier, and, well, it's even hotter on the racetrack right now than it was when I practiced. So it's going to be very loose here tonight with these race cars. The track temperature right now is 107, but I can pretty much guarantee you that is going to climb as the qualifying and race get started. So speaking of qualifying, we're getting started right now, and so we'll take a look at some of these drivers' laps for qualifying. And one thing you'll notice with this track, 3 and 4 less banked than 1 and 2, or else it seems like it. I might be wrong, but it seems like that turn 3 and 4 is a lot flat, or a lot more flat than 1 and 2, and you can't really stay on the gas as long as you can in 1 and 2.
Very oddly shaped in 3 and 4, I think, as well, because you can barrel right through 1 and 2, but you got to be careful through 3 and 4 because there's like one lane to get through that. Any other, you're going to spin or you're going to wash right up into the wall when you come out on the exit.
Yeah, you got to be very careful. It can get loose on the center of the turn. It can get tight on exit. So a lot of ways to reckon that turn 3 and 4. 1 and 2, it may seem friendly if you're in the car, but it can snap loose on you in an instant, especially when that track starts to get hotter and there's a lot less grip on the track. So while it is an easier turn, you still got to be very careful going through it. As Jason Warren slides out of turn 4, so he's going to have to depend on his first lap, which wasn't a bad lap. It was a 29.84. So he, I mean, that's, in the times that I've been seeing, a 29.8 just might do it for the pole spot, but we'll see. We got a lot of guys left to qualify.
Maybe he just felt like going for a fun ride.
Yeah, maybe.
It didn't look fun.
Maybe practicing saving a spin in the race. We'll see. As Jeff Paisley on track. As he's going through turn 1 there, and you see really both turns or both set of corners on this track. Not very, you don't really see 2 lanes here. You talk about how there's only one way through 3 and 4, but I think it's even worse in 1 and 2 because it's easier to drive, but I just don't know if you can stick on somebody's outside in that turn as well. But I haven't really raced around here in the Cup car in a while, so a little inexperience there.
I feel that early on in a run, you can maintain on a little bit of higher lane, but as that goes on, that higher lane tends to tighten up and push you right into the wall.
Elliott Longnecker qualifies third.
That's going to be a key to winning tonight's race is staying out of the walls in 2 and 4.
We're gonna take.
I guess that'd be a key to win any race, huh?
We're going to take a quick look at our spotlight driver here tonight, Mr. Logan, the Big Fish Sturgeon, his team being our sponsor here tonight. Age 27, he's from Warren, Ohio, currently resides there. His best finish in track, he won at Daytona in the Season 2 of the Truck Series. That was to open the season, actually, right? I believe it was to open.
So, yeah.
He is in law enforcement currently, but little birdie tells me he's trying to look to get into trucking. So we'll see. We'll see if he does that soon. Family. He's got a girlfriend named Kimmy. You'll see some. I won't get into detail, but you will see some paints on his car, and that's as far as we'll go with that.
Well, yeah.
Trucking manufacturer on iRacing. He is a Chevrolet driver. We'll see if he's a Chevrolet driver in the Cup Series, in the Cup cars. Favorite race car driver, Jeff Gordon. He just like you. So some similarities there. Favorite movie, John Wick. I think I've watched one of those, but I've never
you got to see
taken
them.
interest.
Awesome movies. You killed his dog.
I
That's
do
a
know
good
that
quote
scene.
for them.
Yes, I do know that scene. Um, favorite song slash band? Thunderstruck, AC/DC. Not a bad choice at all. His hobbies consist of fishing, riding his motorcycle, shooting range, and of course, iRacing. So I mean, neither of the neither of those are a bad choice for spending your off time. I don't
No,
ride motorcycles myself, but sounds and looks like fun. His quote is, "You get hurt, hurt 'em back. You get killed, walk it off." From Captain America.
yeah,
Fun fact about him: he's met President Trump, Vice President Pence, and Jerry Springer on the job. That's a list of names. That's definitely an interesting list of names that he's met.
how does Springer make the list? That's
Yeah, I read that originally, and I was like, "Wow, okay."
hey,
Man,
if you look at it one way, Springer was a TV personality and a politician. Pence was a radio personality and a politician, and Trump a TV personality politician. So
yeah. And then, of course, owner of Big Fish Motorsports, like I said, the sponsor of tonight's race. So that is our driver spotlight of the night, Mr. Logan Sturgeon. And then, since it looks like we have 10-minute qualifying, we'll transition. Actually, you know what? Let's I want to pull Mr. Sturgeon in here. Let's talk to him before the race. I'm gonna message him first, so let's not.
good idea.
But while I do message him, while you guys aren't just sitting here, let's look at the schedule. You can go ahead and take a look down the schedule for the rest of our races.
Yeah, I need to get back to calling him the 20 fish car because I messed up doing that one night, but he had a good race. So he said, "You can keep calling me the 20 fish all you want." And anybody on TikTok, if you could find her, his wife's on TikTok and has a couple of interesting posts.
Kyle Roberts is founder on TikTok.
Yeah.
Well, if he doesn't see the message, I am not going to pull him in here out of his channel without knowing it because, well, just not smart to pull anybody out of their team channel without them knowing sometimes.
How long do we have left? I'll go ask
A
him.
couple minutes, 2.5. But yeah, we got Chicagoland after tonight next week, and then we have an off week into the playoffs. So after next week, that'll be the cutoff for a lot of our drivers, and then we head to Texas to open up the playoffs. And the playoffs have been a little changed around since. It'll be a one race elimination for each of those. So Texas, Homestead, Talladega, Richmond, and Charlotte will be
Yes,
your 5 races in the playoffs. So we're gonna go ahead and he's actually in here. What's up, Logan?
How's it going, guys?
Hey, so well, your spotlight driver of the night. So I think we need to go over this first because we. When did you meet Jerry Springer and how?
Okay. so so I was working one night and I had gotten a call about this lady that was demanding to get on to this to the plane in the airport that the town I worked in. So I go up and I pull up and she's sitting in front of the gate to like get out onto the tarmac. It's an all blacked out SUV and she had like a veil over her face. And I'm
Oh my
like,
goodness.
what is this? So I take her out of the car and I'm like, what are you doing here? She's like, well, I got to get on this plane. I got to get on this plane. I'm like, okay, well, where's the plane going? And she told me. And my dispatcher told me where it was really going at the time. And I'm like, no, it's not going. I said, listen, you need to get out of here. So after like 10 minutes dealing with her, I chased her away. So I go inside of the airport and I'm talking to the guys. They're all freaked out and uh sorry, I've got iRacing talking. So I go in and I'm talking to these guys and they were all freaked out and they were like, yeah, or I asked who the plane belonged to, and they're like, well, it's Jerry Springer's. And I'm like, oh, do you think I could hang out and like talk to him? And his manager was like, oh yeah, definitely.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm waiting. And the limo pulls up, and he pulls into the tarmac, and I walk out, and his manager or agent or whoever it was like, "Oh, Mr. Springer, come over here, and this officer wants to meet you." He walks over. He's like, "Oh, officer, nice to meet you. What the hell was that lady's problem?" So I started cracking up, and we talked for probably 2 or 3 minutes. Um, they had actually been kind of circling a couple back roads, waiting for us to chase this lady out. Well, the reason that they were all fired up with that was we found out like 2 days later that President Trump was flying in, so everybody was on high alert,
Uh,
and including like Secret Service and all them. So yeah, that's how I got to meet Jerry Springer.
all right, we'll go.
Well,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
that's interesting. That's interesting. Thank you.
I was just gonna ask. Well, I was gonna ask you one more thing as we're getting gridded up here about the actual race. I thought that would be something we should do. So we got two tire sets here tonight outside of the ones you're starting on. It's during the day. How are you gonna manage your tires in order to try to make it to the end of the race without being left out?
Yeah, man, we're starting behind the 8 ball. 133 laps, 3 sets of tires. This is gonna be a painful race. We're just gonna. I was joking with the guy saying I was probably first half of the race I was gonna coast around in second gear, just trying to save tires. No, it's we're starting out back. We're gonna let everybody burn up their stuff, and we're gonna just try and manage this as best we can. It's gonna be a long race, but I think our strategy is gonna pay off at the end.
All right.
All
Well,
right,
good
man.
luck.
Yeah, good luck in the race. Thanks for talking to us.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, that was your spotlight driver of the night, Logan Sturgeon. Very interesting way to meet Jerry Springer.
Yeah. I didn't
Yes.
think it was going to be that complicated, but wow.
We'll pull up your grid real quick. Jason Warren with the pole spot, 29.841, with Jason Day on his outside, starting in second. Elliot Longenecker in the 5 car, starting in third behind Warren, with Joshua Sexton on his outside in fourth. Cameron Combs fifth. Josh Lokenvents sixth. Jeff Paisley starting tonight 7th with the number 7 car. Jesse Nicola starting 8th. Christopher Hunter 9th. 10th place will be Tanner Marr. 11th will be Charles Stevens with Joey Buscemi on his outside in 12th. 13 will be Scotty Stevens with the 01 and Mickey Isaac starting on his outside in 14th.
At 15th, we've got William Griffith. 16th, Spencer Gay. Tyler Rice starting 17th. Phil the Hitman Manzo at 18th. Clint Reese at 19th. Logan Sturgeon, our spotlight driver, starting 20th with Garrett Kinder at 21st. David Hurt, 22nd. Michael Swink, 23rd. Josh Oswald, the Jet, 24th. Kyle Roberts, 25th. Chuck Phelps, 26th. And rounding out the field, 27th, Brandon Wallace.
Fantastic job.
All right. Let's do some racing.
Absolutely.
Get all this talking over with.
133 laps tonight here at Kentucky, and we're going to go. The cars are pretty loud, and we're going to do Stevie TV static to start off on the wall. So we're going to go quiet for maybe the first lap, just let you guys take in the racing, and yeah, we're about to get going here. As Jason Warren leading the field to the green.
Time to go get her, boy.
Time to go get her. The green flag is out, and the race is on, and we got 27 drivers here tonight rolling into turn 1. Man, you can already see all the grooves that are coming into play. I mean, we saw a bunch of drivers go to that high line in 3 and 4.
Yeah, a lot of guys. I think those are big-time tire savers. Guys that are like, okay, I don't care about the first half of this race. Just open off my tires.
Side by side right now, out of turn 2, Joshua Sexton, Jeff Paisley. Got to be careful here early on. Lap 2 of 133. Don't want to wreck early on.
A little different in 1 and 2, but in 3 and 4, they are fanning out. If they were side by side, they would be 4 wide.
Yeah, I mean, this racetrack is bringing a lot of racing and early, as it is starting to single file out a little bit, but a lot of cars in a very close proximity right now. But Jason Warren, he's gotten out to, well, it was a kind of a good lead, but right now Jason Ade and Cameron Combs both tracking him down, but they are side by side as we talk.
Yeah, you'll notice. Ooh, see how close you get to that wall. That's coming out of 4. It's a long way to the wall, and you can give yourself some boost coming out of that turn. But if you give it just a little too much, you're going to make contact. Oh, and we got a little bit out of shape there in second place.
Yeah, that was Jason Ade. He touched the apron just a little bit, but thankfully he's still going straight, thankfully. So you see him running that high line in 3 and 4. We'll see how that works out on the long run, but you see Jason Warren gaps him running that bottom in 3 and 4. So we'll see really what that does to the tires as we go on. And like we mentioned, we have 2 extra sets of tires, so 3 including the ones they're on now, but only 2 tire sets that they're going to be able to go to under caution or under green. So you got to be very careful, not only in managing your tires on track during the green flag runs, but you got to be careful when you choose to take tires.
Yeah, you're going to have to be very smart with that this evening. You'll notice in the turns in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, there's a patch of darker asphalt, and Warren seems to be running his right side tires along that in 1 and 2, and the left side tires in 3 and 4. I think that being a little rougher is getting a little extra grip.
Yeah, and they're going to be searching for grip tonight. We take a quick look at the weather. It was at 104 earlier, and I said it would go up. Well, it has 115 degrees is the track temperature right now. So it doesn't matter where you're running tonight. It is gonna that track's gonna eat up your tires. It's just about who can race the best with those beaten up tires.
We do have some clouds here today, and I know guys are thinking, "Man, come on, another cloud. Come on, cover that sun up."
Yeah, that track is burning right now, and usually you see this track at night, but we got a day race right now here, obviously, so a lot worse on tires when you're here during the day, and it's going to show. I mean, best lap times are in the Jason Warren, if we go back to him, his best lap time is a 30.17, and that last time around he ran a 30.78, so about 6/10 fall off right there. And behind him, about a 5/10 fall off for Jason Ade that last lap from his best lap. So obviously your last lap time is going to be subject to who we're looking at, but already at least a little bit of a fall off in 8 laps.
Yeah, and it's starting to get interesting up here up front. I don't know if the guys are willing to sit behind Jason and just run this out, or if they're wanting to get racy, but they're in a position to do so. Might be a case of waiting to see if Jason can make a little bit of a slip up and get past him and not work too hard to run off your tires.
Cameron comes to the inside of Jason Day, trying to make a pass for P2.
And as I say that, let's get racing.
So Cameron Combs was able to get a good enough run off of 3 and 4. Just that bottom line really is able to work, even with a guy to your outside. And obviously that inside through 1 and 2 worked very well as he makes a pass for second. I don't completely remember because I have horrible memory when it comes to this stuff, but I'm pretty sure he is leading our points right now, Cameron Combs. So always near the front in these races, and it's no different this week with him in second right now.
Yeah, he's a very fast, very consistent, very clean driver as well. So we'll see some good racing out of him tonight.
As Jason Warren has led every lap so far, coming to lap 11, or actually coming up on lap 12, as we're really starting to see. Jason Ade has not left that high line in 3 and 4, so he's going to stick with it, and it's not working right now, but we'll see if that works kind of as the longer this run goes on. Move back a little bit further. Josh Lokenvins, Joey Buscemi fighting for the 9th position right now, both of them inside the top 10.
And our good buddy Clint Reese, who qualified 19th, has moved all the way up to 11th.
Yeah, he's trying to get inside the top 10. He's moved up 8 spots, like you mentioned, and now the battle's on for the 9th position as Joey Buscemi looks to the inside of Josh Lokenvents. And, well, we've seen it before in turn 1. If you're to the inside, you should be able to make the pass out of the turn 2, and he does, and here comes Clint Reist.
Yeah, and if you get one guy to your inside like that, passing you in the corner, everybody behind him wants to hurry up and get up there and go with him, because you can get freight trained that way.
So yeah, Cameron Combs, who's in the 2nd position right now, is our points leader, and by a good amount. A 53-point lead over Michael Swink, as we are inching that much closer to the playoffs. We only have 1 race after this before the playoffs.
Wow. Gone pretty quick.
Yep, Chicagoland next week, and then we head to, I believe, Texas for the first race of the playoffs. See, I have short-term memory loss, I guess, because I just looked at the schedule.
You're welcome.
As Cameron Combs, he's starting to get near our leader here. He has 4 wins on the season so far, looking to make it 5, possibly 6 going into the playoffs, but Jason Warren is not an easy battle when it comes to the lead, so we'll see if Cameron Combs has more speed. Right now getting closer, but Jason Warren doing a nice job at least maintaining that gap over 2nd place. And, well, when you have 2 sets of tires, I think I just jinxed it. Oh, no, someone is blinking. Okay. I thought I saw someone wreck. I was just about to say, yeah, that was Josh Oswald blinking. I was just about to say that when you have 2 sets of tires in the pit, you know, you want to be able to do really long green flag runs so you don't go 20 or 30 laps, then get a caution and have to make a choice on whether you want tires or not. And so this is these drivers' best friend right now, is the fact that we're kind of getting on a longer run. I think it's Josh. Either Josh Oswald is blinking, or it's me that is seeing him blink. I don't know, but iRacing always seems to be a little messy.
He doesn't
on Saturday
normally
nights.
blink.
Yeah, Saturday nights always seem to be a mess with iRacing and me.
No, I'm getting a different car blinking.
Oh, okay. Well, then there's a different car around him that's, Michael Swink, I think. No, I don't know. I'm going to stop speculating about it. But I do see some names moving around. I don't know. I do know that on Saturday nights, a lot of times it shows on my screen people blinking just because iRacing doesn't like to be my friend on Saturday nights.
I know. Yeah, we had Tyler Rice blinking in and out there. I'm glad that iRacing got rid of the smoke. When, you know, people are going to blink every once in a while. The internet's unreliable at best, but when you get a guy that blinks and then the smoke comes up, and as a driver, when you're behind, when you see smoke, you think wreck, and you start to back out of it. You lose 2 positions and there's no wreck. So
Jason Warren starting to actually pull away from Cameron Combs, now a 6/10 lead. So these front 2 are running away from everybody else, though. A 2-second lead over Jason Day, who's in 3rd place for Warren right now. And like I mentioned, it was just a half a second, now up to 7/10. As here comes Joshua Sexton for the 3rd position. He's able to make that pass going into 1. So I really think it's just Jason A. Day is living and dying with that outside line in 3 and 4, and it's just not working out right now. As he actually goes to the bottom there.
He's on a tire saving strategy, and anybody who wants to pass him can. I don't know. I think he was running a little hard at the beginning of this run, so I'm not sure it's time to maybe he's just struggling with what he has as well.
Yeah, he actually ran the bottom there in 3 and 4 that time, so he might have started running that bottom recently.
I find that as the tires wear, you really don't want to take those old tires up top unless you're backing out of it early going into the corner. You want to try to give yourself, you're going to have to back off, you're going to have to go slower, you're going to have to go lower, and hope not to push into that wall.
Clint Reist has moved his way into the top 10. He's in the 9th position right now over Tanner Marr. He's moved up 10 spots from the start of this race, so definitely our biggest mover so far, and he looks to get further into this pack, as he's not far behind Joe Buscemi for 8th and 7th place Christopher Heiner, who's now 7/10 ahead of him. So he's inching closer to that top 5 as we keep going green.
Yeah, it's a good green flag run, 23 laps. I'm sure everybody out there would love a caution right now, but then they got to think, well, Lord, I've only got 2 sets of tires.
Yeah, if there's a caution right now, I don't see anybody taking tires, even if you are maybe in the back of the pack. With still over 100 laps to go, you cannot waste a set of tires at this point of the race.
If I had 3 in the pits, I would go, if there was a caution now, I'd go get them. But yeah, like you said, go top off fuel and live with what you got for a while longer. But there will be guys that take those tires early, so.
As we go back to our leader here, Jason Warren, he's sitting pretty right now 1.9 seconds. So you talk about maybe Jason Ade using up his stuff early. Maybe Cameron Combs used up his stuff early because he's fallen back a lot in the last couple of laps.
Yeah, that Jason Warren's running 2 seconds off of his pole qualifying speed, or almost 2 seconds, and he's got an almost 2-second lead over Cameron Combs.
Logan Sturgeon, our spotlight driver, has moved up 3 spots since he started this race.
Bunch of guys back there on extreme tire saving strategy. It was Logan that said to us he thought maybe the first half of the race he just coasted around in second gear.
Yeah, iRacing's just being messy because whenever I click off of Warren and go to Logan, it shows him dropping down the leaderboard. So iRacing's just being a freaking mess on Saturday like it usually is for me.
Maybe it's just you.
Well, it happens on no other night, so.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, every other night I'm good. But on Saturday nights it likes to be glitchy. So, not sure. Wish I knew.
I've got Logan running 17th.
Oh, yeah, it has him running there right now. It's just, I don't know. It always seems to do this on Saturdays and no other nights, so I just guess we'll never know.
We'll live through it.
As Jason Warren with a 1.9 second lead over Cameron Combs still. Cameron Combs in second, Joshua Sexton third. Elliot Longenecker now into fourth, passing Jason Ade, who's now in the 5th position. That's your top 5. Jeff Paisley sitting 6th right now. Christopher Heiner behind him in 7th with Clint Reist right behind him. He's in P8 with Joe Buscemi in 9th. And Tanner Marr sitting in that top 10 position.
That's an amazing move for Clint.
I was looking at the outside of Christopher Heiner. We haven't seen that outside line work too well in 3 and 4. So if you're going to get it down on the outside, really this just isn't the track for you, because we've seen that inside really prevail everywhere we go on track right now.
Fresh set of tires, and if the guy below you makes a mistake, yes. Not right now.
Christopher Heiner did wobble a little bit at it too. He got loose, and that's going to open the door for the 2 car, who, if he can make this pass, will move up to 7th. I think that's the only time you can battle on the outside is when you're even with them, because Christopher Heiner was even, and he came out of the turn about even. So that's really the only time, but I really think he's going to get eaten up here in 1 and 2. It does not work as well when you're side by side in that turn. As Clint Reist moves up to the 7th position, then now 12 spots up from the start of the race, and Joe Buscemi also going to look to pass the 24.
Lap 31 in the books, and Jason's catching up with the rear of the field. He's in 1, they're in 2, so let's see what happens when we get to working on some lap traffic.
.7 seconds is the lead now for Jason Warren as Joshua Sexton makes a pass on Cameron Combs. So we didn't see him up here early. He started 4th, and he hasn't. I think he fell out of the top 5 early, maybe saving those tires. He's found his way all the way back to 2nd, 3.9 seconds behind our leader, Jason Warren. And Jason Warren, he's searching for that first win in this Cup Series. He's been unlucky a good amount of times, and right now we're only 32 laps in, still just around the 100 lap mark left in this race, but early on he looks great.
Yeah, I just wonder what the strategy here is today. Are we going to try to get halfway? Or are we going to try to cut it into thirds? Green flag looks like we're going to have a lot more green flag running the way these guys are running. So strategy is going to be the name of the game tonight.
Yeah, Joshua Sexton got past Cameron Combs, but he has not run away from him.
Oh.
So maybe chasing that monkey in front of you, and once it's gone, that's why you can't depend on that car in front of you to kind of you don't want to run your line based on the car in front of you, because once that car is not in front of you, you might be lost. And here goes the 15 to try to pass Joshua Sexton back for that second position. And here comes Elliott Longenecker as well.
Oh, a little wobble there going down to the shoulder.
Joshua Sexton, little wobble in the front stretch, and that opens the door for Elliott Longenecker to make up 2 positions in 1 turn.
Yeah, that's the truck driver in me calling it a shoulder.
I just noticed that. I heard you say it, but I didn't comprehend it until now. As Cameron Combs is making that outside line work right now, as he's trying to make a pass on Elliott Longenecker, but I'm just not sure how well it's going to work in 1 and 2. And Jason Warren's gotta love seeing this on the relative, because he can't see it on his. He can't see it in his mirror because he's too far ahead right now. But he can see it in his relative that these guys are racing each other, and he's now 5.5 seconds ahead of these drivers, just because of all this battling.
That is amazing. 35 laps in that he can still run that fast and gap the field like he has.
Yeah, we are 36 laps in, and we are a full second off of the fastest pace. So. At least for some drivers, some other are 1.5 seconds. So at least a second fall off right now, 36 laps in. And I believe these drivers can at least make it to halfway on fuel. So I doubt, unless a caution comes out soon, maybe, but I doubt we see anybody go down pit road before halfway.
Well, if you're going to cut it into thirds, lap 45 would be the first third of the race. So I imagine there'll be somebody thinking that. So we're probably going to see in the next 8 laps or so, we'll start seeing a few takers, maybe.
Yeah, and if you cut it into thirds and you take that pit stop on lap 45, and then a caution comes out maybe 30 laps later, you're really going to be behind the 8 ball there.
Yeah, you're hurt.
As Elliott Longenecker cleared Cameron Combs for second, and he's starting to run away.
Yeah, it's all a game of butts. You got to make a plan and try to stick to it, but the race dictates how that plan changes. Sometimes you take a chance and the flags fall your way, like last night.
Jason Warren still laying the best lap times down out of anybody. He almost ran a 32:06 last time around. This time around, he runs a 32:03, so he's almost running consistently 31s right now. And Elliott Longenecker not far off, a 32:19. So these are definitely the 2 fastest on track right now, and are two of the only drivers that are running close to 31-second laps. So I mean, yeah, like you said, it's pretty crazy how consistently fast these drivers have been here here into about a 40-lap run now, almost running 31-second laps. Yeah, so about a 2-second fall off. Sorry, I don't know when I saw one, but yeah, 2-second fall off right now.
Yeah.
For some reason in my mind, I thought they were running 31s.
Still 6-second lead over second place. That's amazing. It's a heck of a run, but now he's coming up on lap traffic. We'll see how this works out for him.
Works to the outside of Philip Manzo, and You got to think Phillip will probably back off into the turn, as he does give Warren enough room to get past him.
Everybody in this league from first to last rides around here with respect. In a situation like that, guys are going to make room for the leader to get through. They're not going to clog him up.
Joshua Sexton making a pass on Cameron Combs once again for the third position. So these two have kind of been around each other a lot here early on.
Yeah. And I think that's helped contribute to that big lead that Jason has. Those guys have been racing each other back and forth.
And don't look now. Clint Reist is into the top 5 and actually tracking these two down.
Wow. I don't even know how he's on track with tires. It seems like coming 14 spots up like that, he would have burned off a lot.
Yeah, he's gone from 19th at the beginning of the race all the way into the top 5 here, 43 laps in, and you know he's worn those tires out trying to get through the field, but he obviously still has some life left in him, as he was as fast as our leader and just a little bit slower than second place because Elliott Longenecker put down the fastest lap, but he ran the same lap our leader did that time around. So Clint Reist has speed, and it could be winning speed as this race goes on. But the only question you have to ask yourself is if a caution does not come out the rest of this race, if we somehow go green all the way, because that's crazy. But if it does happen, I don't think a 9.3 second gap is. I don't think he can overcome that just with green flag laps, even with how fast he is. So I think he's definitely going to need a caution if he wants to try to win this race. But there's no question he has speed right now.
Yeah, he's going to have to be Superman fast. Jason's going to have some issues getting through lap traffic to slow him down a little bit. He's going to have all kinds of things run his way if he were to get back up here and battle for the lead on a green flag night.
Honestly, lap traffic's going to have to slow him up a lot a bit, in my opinion, because, 9.4 seconds, that is just, yeah, there's no way to make that up under green.
I didn't say it was perfect, but I was trying to come up with something, because right now, everybody out there is trying to figure out how in the world am I going to beat that.
Elliott Longenecker, he's shrunk that lead down to about 5.4 seconds. It was up to 6, so he's running faster laps right now than Jason Warren. He was about 2 tenths, maybe a tenth and a half faster that last lap around, but still 5.3 seconds even is a lot to make up, but it's a little bit easier to make up than 9.3. So we do have a long way to go left in this race for Elliott Longenecker to try to catch up to our leader. We'll see what kind of speeds they run around for lap 46 as Jason Warren crosses the start-finish line.
Yeah, he's getting held up here a little bit. We got some side-by-side racing going on here with the potential lap traffic. These guys are still on the lead lap, and they're trying their best to hold on, which there's no problem with that.
Oh no, but they're wrecking.
And Chuck Belt's a little.
That was
he
close.
saves it.
Whew. That's not what you want to see when you're Jason Warren.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah, these guys on the tail end of the lead lap are in every bit of their right to try to hold on to that lap and hope a caution comes out so they don't get lapped. But there has to come a time when you realize the guy's faster than you and you just let him go and try to stay in contact with him and be the first car lap down.
Yeah, and because of lap traffic, that lead has gone from 5.3 to 4.2 seconds. So this definitely is far from over. A lot of laps to go and a lot of lap traffic for Jason Warren to try to work around with Elliott Longenecker. Not breathing down his neck yet, but he's starting to close in a little bit. As Clint Reist, he's moved up into fourth over Cameron Combs, or at least trying to.
And Elliott's just now catching up to the back of the field, so he's going to have to get through this lap traffic as well. So.
As Clint Reist does successfully pass Cameron Combs, and now is going to try to work towards Joshua Sexton for that third position. As just for about everybody, because of that lap traffic, it did go, that lead did shrink down about a second. But like you said, every single one of these drivers that are behind him they see that time shrink because of lap traffic, but they will have to eventually run that same lap traffic or get around that same lap traffic. But you got to think, once that leader passes them, well, then they have no reason to race second place because they're already a lap down, and that's when you sometimes see second place and third place and beyond get a little bit more of a break just because they're already a lap down.
Yeah, I think it's amazing what Clint has done here.
That lead has shrunk down to about a 4-second lead, just over 4 seconds. So Elliott Longenecker, I mean, he's been running faster lap times than Jason Warren for a while now. Not a lot faster, but faster laps nonetheless. So he definitely has the same speed, if not better, than Jason Warren right now. It's just unfortunately he has a 4-second gap to try to overcome.
And Clint Reese has cut that 9-second down to 8. So, hey. And back up to 9. So, as soon as I talk about something.
He's trying to work on Joshua Sexton right now, so that'll slow both of these two down once they start to race each other. But man, I mean, Elliott Longenecker has brought that lead down below 4 seconds as we speak, so he's starting to close in on our leader slowly but surely, and it could become interesting, especially with green flag pit stops. You have to execute no matter where you are on track. So, you know, Jason Warren could come into the to green flag pit stops with the lead and then easily lose it if he makes a mistake. So you got to be very careful.
Yeah, Clint Reese makes the pass on Joshua Sexton. Joshua pulled down, let him go there on the front stretch. Up to third place.
Now 53 laps green here to start out this race. You couldn't ask for a better start of the race. Even if you asked for a great start to the race, I don't think you'd be handed 54 laps. So
you'd have had a bunch of people lapping at you.
But right now, Jason Warren working on more lap traffic as he gets a little tight as he's passing them, and that lead is down to 3.5 seconds now. And we are getting a little bit close. I think Chuck Phelps is on fresher tires. Yeah,
I would hope so.
He has secret speed that we didn't know about.
That car's on a rocket ship.
But yeah, Jason Warren, that lead's starting to shrink down a little bit. And we're about, I would say, at least 20 laps or so. Maybe a little bit less than 20 laps out from green flag pit stops. If they decide halfway is where they want to be when they pit. As I believe Scotty Stevens down pit road.
67 would be halfway out. Scotty Stevens down pit road.
So, I mean, if you were going to cut it into thirds, he would have pit earlier. So I feel like maybe this is in his pit window, his fuel window.
That might be. Or he might have been out there looking at his position going, I'm just going to go get tire.
We'll see how that works out for him. Nobody else following him. As that lead has stayed around 3.5 seconds now that Jason Warren has clean track. Elliott Longenecker having to deal with the same lap traffic he just went through, like we mentioned. And Clint Reese up to third, like we saw him pass Cameron Combs, and Joe Buscemi, I saw him on the timing screen. He passed Cameron Combs for the 4th position. So Cameron Combs may be starting to fall back a little bit more, and Christopher Heiner might be able to pass him too.
Jason A. Day into the pits. So one of our initial front runners has decided that lap 57 is his time.
Will this start kind of the round of green flag pit stops, or will everybody else kind of wait a little longer? We'll find out here. Jason Warren, you got to think, unless he starts to see second, third, fourth start to pit, because, I mean, he's 10 seconds ahead of fourth. So unless Elliott Longenecker or a couple people behind him pit, I think he's going to stay out there until he feels comfortable to pit. Because once those people around him, and when I say around him, on the relative, Elliott Longenecker, Clint Reese, Joe Buscemi, Cameron Combs, he can't stay out there too much longer. He does have a great sized lead, But I mean, we're up to 2 second. We're still around 2.5, 2 second fall off right now. So as soon as the guys behind him go get fresh tires, they're going to be 2 seconds faster than him. So he can't wait too much longer once they do.
Well, yeah, I believe he's made a plan before the race. It changed about 30 laps ago, and then it changed again 10 laps ago, and he knows when he's coming in.
I got to say, I was watching the Xfinity broadcast tonight. Or no, it was I believe it was the truck broadcast for NASCAR, and the broadcaster made a mistake, and he said 7 second fall. I was like, what? Oh my goodness! I mean, those tires must be road tires, like the rain tires, and so. Yeah. And then he's like, oh no, just 2 seconds. I was like, okay, that's better.
7 second fall off. He's got no rubber on his right rear.
Yeah. As Logan Sturgeon, our spotlight driver, now moved up 4 spots from his starting position of 20th, sitting 16th right now, trying to get into that top 15 with William Griffith ahead of him. And, well, what do you know? Joshua Sexton down pit road along with William Griffith, so.
Yeah, and here comes Jason Warren.
Jason Warren down pit road, so I think this is going to start a lot of green flag pit stops. As here comes Elliott Longenecker. Clint Reese does stay out, but I can't see him staying out much longer unless he's going to stay out as long as he can to try to trap some guys a lap down. We'll see.
Yeah, from his position though, a lap, maybe 2. If he goes farther than 2 laps, then he's gambling on a caution, trapping guys down.
I mean, he was third, you're right, but he was 8 seconds back from our leader. And, yeah, he's going to pit this time. Because, Larry Mack says it, kind of the best for me. He says if you follow the leader down pit road, you're going to be following the leader all day long. And if you're outside the top 10 or 15, then it might work out. But if you're in third, you can't risk losing that because a caution could come out at any time.
Yeah.
So Cameron Combs and Tanner Marr, your top 2 right now. Mickey Isaac and Josh Lokenvitz, third and fourth. Clint Reese down pit road. Brandon Wallace is going to assume P5.
We are going to have some guys in the back that are going to roll the dice here, I imagine, though.
Yeah, we still have 8 drivers out there who have not pit yet. And Tanner Marr takes the lead away from Cameron Combs. Jason Warren, with that huge lead, was able to stay on the lead lap, even pitting under green there. So, I mean, that shows the kind of lead he had.
Wow.
As Tanner Marr, Cameron Combs both coming down pit road along with Mickey Isaac. Josh Lokenvitz looks like he's going to stay out there. Brandon Walsh, we'll see if he comes into pit road. He's slowing up. No, he's not slowing up. He's just taking the outside, sorry. But you're seeing those fresh tires are just blowing by him right now. As Josh Lokenvitz ran a 33.17 that last time around. Jason Warren, a 31.13. So, I mean, 2 seconds, a huge fall off. And, yeah, you got to assume these drivers staying out right now are just trying to trap as many cars a lap down as they can, but they got to get that caution as here comes Josh Lokenvitz. Brandon Wallace is going to assume the lead unless he decides to pit, which doesn't look like he will. And he will not, so he'll assume the lead with Josh Oswald behind him going down to pit road. Kyle Roberts stays out, and Tyler Rice stays out as well. And so Brandon Walsh and Tyler Rice, the only 2 left out there. Jason Warren is actually in second right now with those fresher tires.
That's crazy.
Elliott Longenecker, who was second behind him, is 5 seconds back from him. So Jason Warren gained about what was it? It was 4.5 seconds, I believe, before they went into pit road.
Yeah.
So he gained about a second on pit road. And he is going to catch Brandon Wallace very quickly as Tyler Rice does go down pit road. So Brandon Wallace, the only one left out on those old tires, and you got to think he's going to stay out until or even after Jason Warren catches him, to just keep hoping for a caution. As nope, there he goes down to pit road, and Jason Warren will reassume the lead here on lap 67 of 133. I mean, what a race so far.
Yeah, he's been a class of his own so far tonight. That's I'm not going to say it. I don't want to jinx it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I told him before the race, I was like, I'm not picking anybody, and especially not you, because he's had bad luck, and I didn't want to give him any more bad luck. So Elliott Longenecker in second place right now, 5.7 seconds back from Jason Warren, and Jason Day in third right now. Scotty Stevens and Joshua Sexton rounding out that top five. Jason Warren has a 12.5 second lead over third place right now.
That is amazing. And we're back up to almost 6 seconds on Elliott Longenecker.
Trying to find some battling going on through the pack. We have Christopher Heiner ahead of William Griffith. These three, along with Tanner Marr behind them, battling for position right now. That is for the 12th position that Christopher Heiner is in right now. 13th for William Griffith, 14th for Tanner Marr, and there's Mickey Isaac right behind them in 15th. And I believe, I could be wrong, that these drivers right here are on a little bit fresher tires than William Griffith and Christopher Heiner.
Yeah, by a few laps.
Ooh, Tanner Marr missed the turn a little bit, but he's able to keep it low and out of William Griffith. And here comes Mickey Isaac with him. Great move by Tanner Marr there to get the 12th position, and Mickey Isaac working on them as well, as he's about to pass Christopher Heiner and move into 13th. As I believe Clint Reese had an issue on pit road, because he's right now in 7th, about to pass Joe Buscemi for 6th.
Yeah, it's a shame to move all that way up there and have an issue on pit road. When you get a lot of people down in there and you've got to try to get into your pit, sometimes you can overshoot it, especially if you have to ghost through a car right before your pit and you don't have the brakes right, and you pass up your signboard, and all you can do is back up and take your penalty.
As Clint Reese was not able to get around Joe Buscemi, so he stays in 7th. Garrett Kinder behind him in 8th, about 4 seconds back. Cameron Combs, he had either he had an issue or he fell back further than I thought he did before green flag pit stops, because he's in 9th right now. But he just passed Garrett Kinder for 8th. But right now, Jason Warren, the man of the hour right now, he is 6 seconds ahead of Elliott Longenecker and 15.5 ahead of Jason Day.
I'm a little dumbfounded. Dumb is probably a better way to say it. But before that green flag pit stop, old Garrett Kinder there was running 17th, 16th. Now he's up to 9th after those green flag pit stops. So kudos to him.
As we are past halfway now in this race, still green. And we'll see if these drivers decide to go the rest of the way without pitting. I want to think that they'll go the rest of the way, but some part of me thinks that they might want to pit again as well, because, I mean, the fall off, obviously, we'll see.
I think Jason Warren is in a position right now going, hey, no cautions, I'll just run this race the rest of the way. And there's guys right behind him thinking, around a lap 100 or so, maybe I come in and get me some 4 freshies and see if I can run him down.
I don't know. If you get 4 fresh tires and you're behind Jason Warren right now, you're going to be a lap down, maybe a lap and a half down by the time he gets past you. So
Yeah. Well,
you might be able to pass him to get your lap back, but not much else.
well, maybe something happens. I don't know.
Oh, I'm not against it. I'm not against what you're
Disclaimer
saying.
here, ladies and gentlemen that are viewing. I have no idea what I talk about, but I try to make it sound that way.
I'm not against what you're saying at all. I'm just saying the only passing they'll do over Jason Warren is to get their lap back. Because, I mean, right now, he's 16 seconds ahead of third, 18 seconds ahead of fourth through seventh. So anybody who pits back there that's 16 seconds back or so, I mean, they're already a half a lap behind him. So you got to think if they pit, they might even go 2 laps down. So obviously they'd get some of that back with the fresh tires. But if I'm inside that top 10, I'm staying where I am. But, yeah, maybe if you're 15th right now, you try something. But, man, there's just not much to try right now with how dominant that car is.
I'm thinking maybe you pit before Warren, thinking he's going to pit again. So you short pit him and maybe hope to get an advantage that way. Would that math work out?
I don't know unless we get a caution if anything's going to work out for anybody but Jason Warren right now. As I mean, he's led all 80 laps that we're about to come to, except for green flag pit stops,
Yeah.
obviously.
But basically, he's led, all the laps.
Every lap the laps that everybody is off a pit road, he's led. Man, I mean, kudos to these drivers for even going 80 laps green straight. That's tough to do here.
Well, I keep saying there's a lot of great drivers in this league, and there is in this series as well, and other series here, Original Rebels Racing League. But this is above and beyond tonight because you expect at Kentucky somebody to get loose, smack the wall. Everybody's done a great job tonight.
Absolutely, and I mean Elliott. He's in second right now, 6.5 seconds back. He's pretty consistent with Warren. But actually, Jason Day, he ran one of the faster laps we've seen right now. But Cameron Combs in 8th. He ran – oh, sorry, that was the lap before. Never mind. I was going to say ran the fastest lap. But, 31.59 for Cameron Combs before that lap around. So your top 10 consists of Jason Warren, Elliott Longenecker, Jason Day, Joshua Sexton, Clint Reese, Joe Buscemi, Scotty Stevens, Cameron Combs, Garrett Kinder, who started 21st. He's, along with Clint, one of our biggest movers, and Tanner Marr, who started 10th, and he's been there practically all night. So he hasn't been able to move forward much in the top 10, but he's at least stayed in the top 10.
Yeah, he's holding his ground really well. Clint Reese moved up to 5th. That's awesome. He's making his way back up to the front. Hoping for a caution because that's the only thing that's going to get him back close to Warren, I believe.
Yeah, he's only 17.7 seconds back right now. That's nothing.
Nothing. The air temperature here has not changed with the track temperature. It's gone up to 120 with all these green flag laps and that sun shining down on it.
Yeah, I mean, we started out this in qualifying at 104 degrees. It has gone up 16 degrees just by these guys running on that track. And it is noon, so that sun is still coming up and laying even more heat down on that track. So it might even get a little bit hotter before the end of this race. We'll see.
And I've been to this track. The track is lower than the grandstand. It's a bowl. It's a huge bowl. The garage area, if you look towards the track, you actually have to look up to see the track. It's very interesting. So there's no breeze through here either to cool anything off, which doesn't matter to the drivers at home in their air conditioning, but does to the track. There's a lot of guys sitting at home right now going, okay, I can use a caution so I can get a drink or something.
Clint Reese working on Joshua Sexton for 4th right now. Yeah, when we talk about 2 tire sets, we talked about green flag runs being their friend, but they're thinking right about now, I'll use that last set.
Yeah,
And then, if we had a caution right now, that would put this race in a pickle for me because
Yeah.
you're going to have the drivers who want to take tires, and then you're going to have drivers who don't. And that's a lot of laps to go. I mean, even though we've gone 86, we're talking about the back half of this race. And usually towards the end of a race, a caution is more likely for drivers, driving harder. And so if we get a caution now and we go back to racing, say, with 43 laps, that's a long way to go to ask for no cautions again. And for the drivers who wouldn't take tires, well then, hey, halfway through that run, you get another caution. It's going to be working out for them.
Yeah.
But right now, at least right now, it doesn't look like we're even going to get a single one. But that can change in an instant.
This might be the fastest race we've ever broadcast.
Yeah, and that says something. We've been live for an hour, and we still have about 45 laps to go. So that says something about the lengths of these races.
Oh yeah, you throw 2 or 3 cautions in there, and we're still back at lap 60.
Jason Warren, a 6.6 second lead over Elliott Longenecker right now. Jason Day in third, so not a lot of change throughout the top 10 right now. Clint Reist is 1.5 seconds back from Jason Day in fourth, trying to get up to that podium spot. Joe Buscemi's had a nice top 5 run here so far. Started in the 12th position.
Yeah, I'm thinking if not for that error on pit road, we would see Clint Reese and Jason Warren battling by now.
I don't know. But man, we are down to 43 laps to go as we hit lap 90, getting closer to lap 100, and fully green so far. What else can you say about it? These drivers have, not just Jason Warren. I know we've talked a lot about him, how dominant he's been tonight so far. But man, all these drivers have put on a heck of a show tonight.
Yeah, I got to keep coming up with some scenario that somebody catches Jason.
That scenario was a caution.
Yeah, because I don't believe there is one, but, in my imagination, maybe I can come up with a couple.
People are on my iRacing live timing blink. Some of them are blinking out when I click away from them. That's just the lovely glitchiness of iRacing tonight for me.
Yeah, I think we covered that. iRacing hates you.
Jason Day, he's in third right now, but when I click away from him, he falls all the way down outside the top 20 on my scoring screen.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's something you might want to address.
I don't know if I can. It might just be an iRacing live timing thing. But it only happens on Saturdays. I don't know. As we're seeing Jason Warren about to lap William Griffith, who is the 15th position. So, Warren's getting pretty close now to trying to lap the top 10. He is 4 seconds back from Tanner Marr, who's in 10th. Or not 4, sorry. 7 seconds. I was looking at Charles Stevens. Yeah, don't let the scoreboard deceive you. Jason Day is in third right now.
Yeah, we've got Warren out front, Elliott Longenecker, Jason Day in third, Clint Reese up to fourth, Joey Buscemi fifth, Joshua Sexton in sixth, Scotty Stevens running seventh, Cameron Combs eighth, Garrett Kinder ninth, Tanner Marr still in that top 10 and 10th position, Charles Stevens in 11th, Mickey Isaac, Sneaky Mickey, and Warren has blown an engine.
Huh? Oh my God.
Warren has blown his engine.
Wow. What can you say? I think he... Oh, did he hit the wall?
Caution is not out.
We're on board here with Jason Warren. And he barely tapped the, oh, big contact to the inside wall. Yeah, I don't think we'll see Jason Warren in this series anymore. I mean, that's heartbreaking. I know I'm laughing, but that's just out of sheer disbelief, I guess, because, I mean, wow. Wow.
I'm sitting here running down a leaderboard. I wasn't looking. I'll look over and he's smoke. Like, wait a minute.
Wow. Yeah, that was one of the ways these drivers could beat him. That was just a self-mistake. He tapped the wall following the driver in front of him, and that's the danger. The driver in front of him got on the wall a little bit. He followed him right into it, unfortunately. So, wow. I would not want to be in that Discord channel right now. As Elliott Longenecker.
A minor tap to the wall.
Well, and then he hit the wall hard on the inside.
Yeah.
Elliott Longenecker is taking advantage of it, though. He's now in the lead with 8.5 second lead over Jason A. Day.
I'm speechless.
Elliott Longenecker is in a team chat with Warren, so I know he's probably not cheering on that, but, I mean, he'll take the lead. He'll take it.
Well, sorry for Jason. I feel bad for that.
Elliott Longenecker, Jason A. Day, Clint Reese, your top three now. Clint Reese now a second back from Jason Day, trying to get into that top two now. Joe Buscemi fourth. Joshua Sexton fifth. That's your top five. Oh, but Joshua Sexton and Scotty Stevens battling for that top five right now.
And old Clint Reese, he saw Jason drop out, and he's still 9 seconds behind the leader. He's got to be wondering, what do I got to do?
Elliott Longenecker coming to lap 100 here as we are getting very close to the end of this race. All green flag laps still. Very close to a caution there, but he got stopped down in the apron, so that did not bring out a caution. And Elliott Longenecker does not want to see a caution at this point.
No. He might have a few laps ago, but now he's okay with not being one.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how quick your situation can change, right? Yeah, I mean, I think I'll give Warren a couple days to before I talk to him about this.
Yeah.
As we down to 33 laps to go, we'll see if any racing's going on throughout the pack. Scotty Stevens did find his way around Joshua Sexton for fifth. And now Garrett Kinder, he's working his way towards the top six as he's going to try to make a move on Joshua Sexton.
And Taylor Moore gets around Cameron Combs. Moves up to 8.
Garrett Kinder looking to the outside, going to try to make that move in turn 3 and 4. And like we mentioned earlier, when you're on the outside of somebody, you can't. Oh, is Joshua Sexton going down to pit road?
I believe. Oh, wow.
Jason Day, Scotty Stevens, a lot of people going down pit road right now. And that, it's either for fuel and tires or just tires. And we'll find out here with Elliott Longenecker. I mean, we'll see.
Confused.
We had a lot of people pit in the, I think it was around lap 55 to 65. So a lot of people down pit road right now. Top 11 still not, at least on the lead lap.
I think those guys were in lap 60 32, which I'll maybe put him short of fuel to the finish. That's the only thing I can think of that brought him down pit road was fuel.
We'll see. Elliott
Our top-
Longnecker staying out there.
He's been 44 laps, so he came in lap 61. You get back to Cameron Combs 40 at lap 65, you would think he would have enough to maybe go to the end. Well, no, that would only get him to 130, so we'll see.
It's getting interesting here late. Some drivers making some moves to go get tires, but I feel like, I don't know, if you had to pit, we would have seen Elliott Longenecker pit already. As we're down.
Yeah, with all those guys going, if you know that you're going to have to pit for fuel again, you would think they would be down there by now, but
You would think.
yeah, you would think.
As you're seeing Tanner Marr and fresher tires just breeze past him, along with Jeff Paisley. So, I mean, you're seeing the difference in tires right on your screen there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll see. We got 26 laps to go. Elliott Longenecker with a dominating 10-second lead over Clint Reese currently.
With 16 laps to go at 2 seconds a lap, that's 32 seconds. That's catching up. They ain't necessarily passing.
So we're down to 26 to go here.
At this point right here, I believe if Longenecker's got the fuel, he's just going to go with it
Oh, yeah.
and make those guys work their way around
Clint
to it.
Reese, Joey Buscemi down pit road.
Well, that tells me that fuel's an issue, I believe.
They were running second and third, I
Here
believe.
comes Elliott Longenecker down pit road.
Elliott Longenecker down pit road. Even though he waited about 5 laps later than those other drivers, he had such he did smoke the tires there. Let's hope he didn't speed. If you're able, even if you're a couple over when you enter, if you're able to get it down, usually they don't burn you for speeding. But he had such a dominating lead that he could wait that 5 laps longer. He gets in his pit stall, no mistake. He's going to get 4 tires. Cameron Combs and Logan Sturgeon staying out there. You got Garrett Kinder pitting as well with Mickey Isaac and Charles Stevens. So we're going to see where they come out compared to these drivers who pit. Elliott Longenecker right now, he is, I'd say 20 seconds ahead of Jason A. Day, but no, that keeps closing. Never mind. Jason A. Day just about to go into turn 1, and Elliott Longenecker about to come out at 2. This is going to be interesting here. I don't know if Jason's pit yet. Has he? He has? I don't know. Oh, wait. He pit with Scotty Stevens earlier, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Cameron Combs is not pit.
Cameron Combs, Logan Sturgeon, and Josh Lokenvents, right?
Yeah, they have not pit.
So Elliott
Brandon Wallace
Longenecker
and Kyle Roberts have not either, and they're still on the lead lap for the moment.
So Jason A. Day is right behind Elliott Longenecker right now, and I guess this shows, I mean, Jason was far back from him, and Elliott waited those laps longer, and he made up all this time on those fresher tires.
Yeah.
Jason did, but Elliott Longenecker now has fresher tires than he does, so will he start to run away?
Yeah, 6 laps, but I don't know, maybe I'm not in his mind. Hopefully he knows what he's doing.
Right now, if everybody in front of him is forced to pit, Elliott Longenecker would reassume the lead, so he didn't lose it, but he did lose a lot of time to Jason A. Day. And Clint Reese, who chose to pit a lap before Elliott, is back to 10th right now, which would be about 7th when these other drivers pit. Actually 6th, as Brandon Wallace hasn't pit.
Wow.
So 5th or 6th for Clint Reese, but he came in 2nd.
As fast as that car is, a couple of mistakes on pit road cost you.
I don't even know if it was a mistake. It was just not a mistake on pit road, but he did wait a lot longer than
Yeah.
most of those
Yeah.
drivers did, and it looks like it cost him. It almost cost Elliott Longenecker, as Jason Day almost made a pass on him. But he is running away from Jason now over a second. Down to 21 laps to go. Cameron Combs still your leader, but he still has to pit, I would assume.
Well, if fuel is an issue, yeah.
Along with Logan Sturgeon, our spotlight driver, and Josh Lokenvents. Brandon Wallace has still stayed out. Kyle Roberts, I believe you said. So still about 5 drivers still out there on their old set of tires.
Kyle Roberts has since. Oh no, he still hasn't pit yet, but and he's the tail end of the lead lap.
So 20 laps to go. Cameron Combs playing a bit of a strategy game here.
Well, I'm sitting there watching the time that Elliott Longenecker is behind him, and he's gaining so fast that I can't count off how many a lap.
Yeah, I mean, Cameron Combs that last time around ran a 32.72. Elliott Longenecker ran a 30.93. So basically 2 seconds there a lap, and he's 11 seconds back right now. So do the math yourself. Not going to be very long before he catches him.
2 seconds a lap and 10 seconds behind. That's 5 laps in my modern math.
I mean, it was just at 11 seconds about half a lap ago. So, I mean, it is just shrinking every single square inch of this track. That gap is. But right now, Longenecker has to get around Josh Lokenvents first, but that shouldn't be an issue with these tires. But he does have people double wide in front of him. As there he makes a pass for third. So Lokenvents still staying out. Next on Longenecker's
And here
list.
comes Cameron Combs down pit road.
Next on Longenecker's list is Sturgeon. We'll see if he pits with Cameron Combs. He does not. So Logan Sturgeon going to stay out there and at least lead a lap, maybe. Yeah, okay, that's William Griffith.
Yeah.
I couldn't see if that was Elliott Longenecker or not. So Logan Sturgeon does lead a lap here tonight. And we'll see how much longer he stays out there. But it's not really going to matter as Elliott Longenecker about to take that lead back.
Yeah.
As there he goes around, and I believe Logan will be pitting this time around as he is slowing down. Yeah, there he goes. Playing a little bit of poker with me, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going, I'm not going. And I believe Josh Lokenvent's still out here, so he and Kyle Roberts still the only 2 left out there. Actually, Brandon Wallace is still out there. So 3 drivers who have not yet pit now that Logan Sturgeon has went in. But, man, Elliott Longenecker with the 3-second lead now over Jason Day, with 16 coming to 15 laps to go here at Kentucky. Dare I say it, we have not had a caution yet. Dare I say it, I already did.
Your streak of green-white checkers might be going down the drain.
I'm okay with that. I am completely fine with that if we can get 133 straight green flag laps.
Well, we had a lot of guys make 65 laps on that first pit run, on that first fuel run, excuse me. And it would have been 68 for a lot of them to finish the race. I'm wondering if when they came in with 65, if that was just as far as they could go.
Well, no worries about fuel anymore. All about tires, and if there will be a caution. We don't know that yet, obviously, but with 14 laps to go, still time to figure that one out. Elliott Longenecker, the only car on track right now that does not want to see. Well, I would think the only car on track right now that does not want a caution.
Yeah.
There might be some drivers who are inside that top 10 thinking, you know what, I'll take it.
Yeah. Let's just get this over with. I've sat here this long. Let's go green.
Yeah, I mean, if we get a caution lap now, or a caution out now, those caution laps are going to feel weird. I mean, you've ran so many laps straight in a row where you're going 170, 80 miles, maybe even 90 miles per hour, and then you got to go, 60? So that definitely feel weird after all these green flag laps.
Yes, it would.
Also, I mean, it would be a game changer because obviously when you pit, you start out with new tires, and with that, and actually, I just thought to myself, I'm thinking as I go on, that was their last set of tires. So
Yeah.
did anybody maybe pit and not take tires? We'll see. Just to hold out in case there's a caution. But yeah, a lot of these drivers would be starting on old tires if it came down to a late race caution.
Oh, Josh Lockenvitz and Brandon Wallace are taking the gamble. They're still running.
Yep.
Maybe they're hoping for a caution, go get that last set of tires and see how many spots they can make up in the remaining laps.
Elliott Longenecker coming out of turn 4, going to collect the 10 laps to go mark of this race.
Maybe they think they got enough fuel and they're just willing to stay out there and take the finish that they can get.
Hey, why not? I mean, if Brandon Wallace finishes where he does right now, which he is a little bit under fire right now, but he would finish 18 spots ahead of where he started. He started 27th. He's running 9th right now, so he would absolutely take that if he can make it.
Oh, yeah.
Clint Reist has moved his way up into 3rd, but if there isn't a caution, I doubt he'll make it any further, as Jason Day is 4.7 seconds back. Or ahead of him, sorry.
I feel like we're talking about cautions like we're trying to bring one on.
I gotta bring that if situation. I can't say Clint Reist won't catch him because if a caution comes out, then he would have a chance. But yeah, right now, these drivers doing a great job at keeping it straight, and Garrett Kinder making a pass over Joshua Sexton for P4. He's up 17 spots from where he started. Garrett Kinder's trying to have a real nice weekend. He doesn't always have the greatest luck, and I mean he won at Iowa in the Xfinity cars last night. Looking to get a solid top 5 here tonight, and then obviously race the trucks tomorrow here at Kentucky.
Yeah, that'd be a real good weekend for anybody. I got a top 5. I got 5th place last night. I was happy like I won.
Hey, a top 5 is always great to get. I don't care where you finish inside that top 5. I don't think Clint Reist up 16, Derek Kinder up 17, Brandon Wallace, we talked, he's up 15 spots right now. He's lost a couple positions and loses another one to Cameron Combs there. He's fallen outside the top 10. But those are still your hard chargers of the race, as Elliott Longenecker actually put Cameron Combs a lap down when we were away from him. So, I mean, Cameron Combs, our points leader, sitting 12th, and Elliott Longenecker just lapped him.
Wow, what a night.
Every single time Elliott Longenecker goes into a turn, he's just anticipating something to maybe not happen to his car, but happen outside of what he can control. I mean, if you're the leader, that's always going to happen when you're come down to the end of the race, right? You're just anticipating something to go wrong.
Yeah, everything bad that can happen is going through your brain. And at this point, you're like, no. Every time you cross the start-finish line, it's like, okay, one more lap with no caution. One more lap with no caution.
And with this run here tonight, we'll go back to Clint Reist. This will move him up into the 2nd position in points behind Cameron Combs, and he should gain some points over Cameron, with Cameron finishing 12th if we ended the race right now. Actually, he's 11th, sorry. And Clint Reist 3rd. That would be 8 points unless there's bonus points, but still a good point day for Clint Reist if he can finish in the 3rd position.
That's some good big picture racing.
Four laps.
I keep looking up at the gap with Jason A. Day, and it just doesn't seem to be getting any better.
Yeah, no, Elliott Longenecker, heck of a car, and obviously really the only car better than him tonight was Jason Warren, but for Elliott, that doesn't matter now. He's in the lead, and he's looking forward for 3 more laps.
I honestly think the best car here tonight is probably Clint Reist. He's had to pass a lot of cars 2 or 3 times. Would have been interesting to see what he could have done up front with Warren and Longenecker all close together.
Elliot Longenecker going to get 2 to go here. He needs to get around one more time, and so we can get that white flag, and the next flag would end it. But until then, he's not safe, and he has a couple cars battling in front of him. He's just going to be really careful right now. No reason to run super hard right now when there's nothing stopping you from a win, at least in terms of battling for position, as he is 5.5 seconds ahead of Jason Day.
Yeah, and he's wheeling it right now, Lincoln. Come on, a little bit further.
White flag is out for Elliot Longenecker in the lead. 4 more corners and a lot of battling in front of him, but that doesn't matter. He just needs to stay behind all that and not even try to get into it as he goes down the backstretch for the final time.
He can almost coast from here.
Yeah, the 5.8 second lead, I could see it, but man, Elliot Longenecker ran second for most of this race, but when it matters truly, he's in that lead spot. Coming out of turn 4, Elliot Longenecker will win here at Kentucky Speedway.
Amazing race. Great race there, Elliot. Jason A. Day and Clint Reese coming in third. Garrett Kinder sneaking in fourth. Joshua Sexton rounding out the top 5.
Elliot Longenecker's first win of this season comes in the most perfect race of the season when you talk about green flag racing. As we go start to finish, green flags.
You could have bet me $100 earlier tonight that
Dang
this would
it.
go green all the way.
Man, I so much thought about it.
They're giving you odds.
Is Elliot Longenecker going to burn it down for the first time this season in the Cup Series? Apparently a silent burnout because I couldn't hear it for a little bit.
Silent but deadly. What a race.
Absolutely. And there's Garrett Kinder wrecking the winner per usual.
Oh, there we go.
Kyle Roberts.
Kyle Roberts getting it on the fun. I don't
All
even
right.
know.
I think everybody
Josh Oswald.
Now he's missing a tailpiece.
Ain't nobody mad at him. Those are all congratulatory bumps. Josh Oswald coming back for another lick. And there goes both motors.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get him in here now. Oh, I meant to move Elliot in here, and for some reason it moved him to waiting room. Hey, Elliot, you got a copy?
Yeah, you guys.
Well, I mean, obviously heartbreak for Jason, but for you, man, you get your first win of the season. Congratulations. 133 straight laps, or straight green flag laps. Take us through kind of your mindset with only 2 tire sets tonight.
Man, first off, I got to say I feel heartbroken for Jason. I mean, he had the car to beat tonight. He was fast. There was no way I had anything for him. So I'm really sorry to see that. Man, it was tough with only 3 sets of tires. I mean, the car just was all over the place. It was loose. It was like driving on a skating rink.
Well, you look like you handled it well there. Was that last pit stop because of fuel? Was you did not have enough to make it all the way?
Nah, I was going to be about 6 laps short, and I actually thought maybe I messed up letting those other guys pit before me. I mean, I think it was Jason that finished second. I mean, he was right there on me when I came out of the pits, and I had an 8-second lead going into that. So, yeah, I thought I messed up, but I was able to pull away there at the end.
Well, you had a great race tonight. Congratulations. You got any shout-outs?
I just want to thank all the guys over at Full Send, and especially Jason Warren. And man, I know his big car win's coming soon, and it should have been tonight. But yeah, just all the guys over at Full Send. I appreciate them.
All right. Thanks a lot. Hopefully we'll talk to you again in the future.
Thanks so much, guys.
All right, now we got Jason A. Day in here. Jason, you got a copy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, man, well, great race for you tonight in the Cup cars. I'm used to seeing you on Tuesday nights in those modifieds, but see you over here in the big car today. And just take us through your race. You started in P2 for this race, and take us through that last pit call, because Elliott did talk about how, I mean, you were right up on him when he pit. Was that kind of the goal, was to short pit him to try to take the lead away from him?
Yeah, kind of. I messed up on the first run of the race. It started second. I ran way too hard to start. I think I was 10th or something when the first set of cautions came out. I had no right rear left, no right front left, and I took it a lot easier the second run. Was able to get myself back up into, I think, third place, and then I saw Jason leave, which was too bad. I felt bad for him. Nobody could catch him tonight, and then Elliott was probably about 9 seconds ahead of me, and I said the only chance I have is to short pit, come in about lap 100 or so, and see if I could gain. And I did. I just about had him coming out of the pits, but the fresher tires was a huge difference. Elliott pulled away from me, and I couldn't catch him.
A great run tonight. You had probably some of the best racing we had all night, because it seemed like the leaders were just checking out. Did you get a little down getting back in the field there? How'd you work your way back up?
Yeah, I was a little frustrated. I didn't know what I did wrong, because I'd only had about maybe 20 laps at this track before the race tonight, so I didn't really know where the lines were. Thought maybe the high groove was going to work, but it didn't. It was actually tighter and harder on the tires way up high. So the second run, I started letting off a little earlier, 3 and 4, letting the car do its thing, and then getting back on a little easier. It seemed to help quite a bit.
Well, great podium finish. You guys put on a great show for us tonight. You got any shout outs for us?
Of course, thanks to you guys for the broadcast and Rebel Racing for putting on a great show. My Five Kings Motorsports teammates, Maconi Setup Shop, MF Designs, Butt Kicker, and Simbox.
All right. Well, thank you. Congratulations again. And no, we'll talk to you again in the future.
Thank you, guys.
All right. And finally, we'll move on to Clint Reese. Great showing from him tonight. He made up 16 spots from where he started this race and comes home third. And we're going to go ahead and get him in here. Hey, Clint, Zach and Sam, you got a copy? Or Zach and Sam in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
I talked ahead of myself there. But great race tonight. You started 19th, and we kind of followed your run through the field as you started to get more up into the top 10 and then top 5. You finished third. Impressive showing from you tonight. Take us through your race.
I didn't have time to qualify. I had a little emergency beforehand, but yeah, coming through the field was fun. But I don't know, pit stops killed me. You can probably go back and look at my pit times and see where I blew it. I slid through my box twice, and yeah, that was my race.
Yeah, we were wondering about those, what had happened in the pits to you, but you seem to drive through the field and back up to the front and got this third place finish. How were you? Were you just driving better than everybody else? Because man, you made some move. You had to pass everybody 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I went up the field twice, I'd say, but yeah, it was. I don't have anything different than anybody else. It's just, I don't know, maybe a little extra feel. I don't know, but it wasn't enough tonight.
You did a great job with that podium finish, and congratulations on the third. You got any shout outs for us?
Just want to thank you guys. Thank Matt for having the league and enjoy it every time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Clint.
All right, that was your third place finisher, Clint Reese. We'll go ahead and pull up your results for tonight's race, and while I do, last thoughts about tonight's race, Dan.
Wow, 133 laps green. I would have never, ever thought it. That makes a great race. Some people would think, oh, no, want a caution, want to bunch back up. But no, man, that's that's the way you want a race to go. It's there was a lot of drama in tonight's race. You know, what are we going to do? How are we going to get up there? I mean, there wasn't answers to a lot of these questions, but that's what's going through a guy's mind is he's noticing that this thing's going to go green. How am I going to get up to the front? And that's just made for a fun race.
Yeah, and obviously you see Jason Warren there in 26th. Heartbreak for him, but I mean, you see Josh Oswald in 25th. He is 4 laps down, but I mean, you just see all the drivers. We had 25 drivers make it to the end tonight, and that's truly a product of that green flag racing. When you don't have cautions, you don't have wrecks, and that's the big thing is, you know, on these restarts, you get a big wreck that can wipe out 10 drivers. So none of that tonight, and 25 drivers come home and cross the start-finish line tonight. But Elliott Longenecker was the first to do it. He wins tonight's race. So one last congratulations to him for winning the first race of the season for him that he's won. Jason Day, Clint Reist, your top 3. Clint Reist, like I said, he's going to move up and help his point situation after tonight, finishing 3rd. So great run by all these drivers here tonight. 133 straight green flag laps. You can't say anything else about that other than that was just awesome. And man, I'm looking forward to finishing out the season at Chicagoland, or the regular season out at Chicagoland, and then we're going to get into some playoff racing and elimination races, and that's when it's really going to get interesting. So really looking forward to the rest of the season for these Cup cars. But hey, if you want to see more Kentucky racing, make sure to tune in tomorrow night to Intensity Broadcasting, where you'll see us in the trucks here at Kentucky at nighttime. So that'll be a little nicer on us and our tires. So.
I hope.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, that's been all for tonight. It's been Zach and Sam Wetstein in the booth. Have a good night.